guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the great state of Michigan. Current temperature is 43 degrees and windy as hell outside. Yesterday it was 70 degrees outside. The day before that it was 70 degrees outside. And today it went to hell. I swear Mother Nature is bipolar. So if you guys have been following the channel for a while, especially since through Ruby's supercharger build part 1 and part 2, you'll know that I said in part 2 video that I really like listening to a roots blower whine. Well, that supercharger with the sealed air box does not whine. It whines just a tiny bit because the fact it's got the big hole in the hood for the air, the hot air to extract out. But other than that, there's no sound of the Whipple. If you're driving it at really low RPM, you can kind of hear it a little bit, but if you get on it, you don't hear nothing. So I reached out to this company called Fostermods, who was recommended to me from Joker's Performance, and they said they have a solution for that, and it's called a whine mod. So yeah, we're gonna tap into the air intake, and we're gonna run a sound pipe into the interior of the car so that we can hear the Ruby supercharger better. So this won't add any horsepower, but at least you'll get to hear your supercharger. And you spend all that money on a supercharger, you wanna hear it whining. If you spend all that money on a turbo, you wanna hear them spooling up. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm gonna add a little sound tube to the car, and hopefully this will make the Whipple sound a whole lot better inside the cabin of the car. So I'll take you over here and I'll show you the kit they gave me, and we'll get on with today's video. So what we have here is the Fostermods Stage 4 whine kit for the Stage 2 Whipple supercharger. Comes with everything you need. All you gotta do is supply yourself with a drill. We have to cut a hole in the firewall, so they supply you with the bit right here for the firewall, and that bit is also used for the mass airflow sensor housing to tap into. So let me get my tools ready, and we'll pull the carpet back on the interior of the Mustang, and we'll start prepping this out to install this kit. All right, so step 1 of the install, we have to pull back the carpeting here in the footwell on the driver's side to the left of the steering wheel. So let me flip you guys around and take you guys down there, and we'll show you how we gotta pull this carpeting back. Here. Whoa. Well, that was easy to find. Okay, good. So as we pull this down to the left, where this comes back to. I don't know how much room I'm gonna need down here, so I guess I'll just fold this back. All right, that should be pretty good. Then they say to pull this out. Some kind of like retaining clip or whatever to hold the carpeting in place. See if we can pull it through the other side here. There it goes. All right, we got that out now. All right, now I gotta grab the razor blade here, and I gotta cut this insulation here. So what I've seen in directions is you're supposed to cut it like right here. Hopefully that's good. I pretty much just scored it. I'll get back to you guys after I cut this. All right, so I drew a line here going across from this little nub here from the steering column like they said, and then it's a 1/4 of an inch past this little weld, not weld, but this little like, I don't know what you'd call it, like rise in the sheet metal. So that's like right here. The other one, the other X you see next to it, I made a mistake there, and I measured 3/4 of an inch instead of 1/4 of an inch, but it's okay. I got it right before I drilled any holes in my firewall, so that's all that matters. So now I'm gonna get a center punch for this, put a punch in it, put a pilot hole in it, and then we'll start drilling the big hole for the sound tube to go through. All All right, now we're gonna start drilling our pilot hole to get through the firewall. I hear this is double ply sheet metal, so we may be here for a minute. But I'll show you guys me starting to cut this hole here. Oh, all right, made it to the other side. All right, looks good. So we're getting ready to drill the big hole into the firewall, and they recommend you use some type of lubricant to cool the bit so it doesn't overheat while drilling through the, or I should say cutting through this firewall. So I'm going to use some quick detailer. They recommend Windex, but I don't have any Windex on hand, and I really don't feel like going to the store just to get Windex for this project. So, all right, well, time to start focusing on this drill here. See if I can get the light right for you guys. Here we go. There, I got my pilot hole drilled, so. Well, that went a little bit easier than we thought it would. We burned right through the firewall, so now I guess I gotta clean up that insulation back there and be ready to fish the sound tube through. All right, you guys, now I'm gonna take you to the engine compartment and show you the hole we drilled through the firewall. All right, well, there's our hole drilled through the firewall. To the left of the hole, you can see is the steering column. So that's how close it is to the steering column when we drilled our hole. That's about the best view I can get you guys, but just so you can see where we had to come out at. Oh, so now the next step is going to be to unbolt the air intake and drill our hole through the mass air flow sensor housing. Time to loosen up this air box. All right, well, we got everything loose. Let's see if we can pop this off. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. That there it goes. All right. Ooh, that was a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be. Okay, let's see. Well, you guys, there's the air filter to the Whipple. Big, massive thing. All right, well, let me get the rest of this undone and we'll get it prepped for drilling the hole. So before we prepare the inlet piping to cut or drill our hole in, I figured I'd show you guys what it looks like inside of a Whipple in case you've never looked inside of one before. If you look real close, you can see the rotors inside. I think that is so cool, considering this is the first time I've ever owned a root supercharger. Well, just wanted to share that with you guys real quick. Okay, so I measured this 3/4 of an inch, and then I marked it with an X, and that's what we're going to drill our hole at into our mass airflow sensor housing. All right, well, we drilled our pilot hole, and now we're getting ready to drill the big hole here into the mass airflow sensor. I want to go kind of slow. I don't want it to snag at all. I will say this bit they supply is really top notch. It makes a really smooth hole when it cuts through stuff. Even the firewall, it didn't leave any burrs when it got done. Oh, there it goes. And we're through, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. All right, well, we'll clean it up with the razor blade they gave us, and then we can start installing. All right, next step is to work this grommet they give you into the hole. And they give you some supplied grease too, so that's kind of nice. And they recommend using the grease and then cleaning up the residue. They said it's gonna harden up and almost act like a sealant over time. So, all right, there's all that. Next, I gotta grease this little barb right here. I guess it's supposed to help get through easier. All right, now it's all prepped and ready to go through the grommet. All right, well, let's shove this thing through here. Let's see how hard this is. Oh, there it goes. All right, cool. Oh, and she's through, ladies and gentlemen. All right, looks pretty good. All right, well, I'll clean the residue off, and then I think we can start reinstalling this back on the car. All right, now our mass air flow sensor is all reinstalled. And that's what it looks like inside. And on the outside, little barb sticking out for the hose to attach. So, all right, well, let's start reassembling this. Get this over and attach this. Ugh. Before putting the mass air meter back together, they said to get a nice tight fit prior to. Man, that's gonna be tough to do. Holy cow. Whew. Ugh. All right, well, I'll get back to you guys after I get this all pressed in. I got it most of the way. All right, the next step, they say, is to put the rubber grommet in the firewall here. Now, I don't know if I can do this one-handed for you guys, but we'll give it a shot, see what happens. Oh my God, look at that. I got lucky. All right, well, there's our rubber grommet to the firewall. Now we can start fishing the sound tube into the firewall. All right, I'm gonna reach inside the inch compartment here. I'm gonna shove the hose through. Shelby's gonna go in there and show you the hose coming through. I think I've already got it most of the part of the way through, maybe most of the way through. I kind of got a little carried away, but I'll let you guys see what it looks like down below. Let me know when you're ready, Shelby.
Ready. It's coming. I'm helping it though.
Okay, hold on. There we go.
I think you got it all the way.
Well, time to install the sound tube cap. Goes over this here, just like that. All right, you got it, baby? Yeah. All right, I think we're, oh shoot. I think we got it. Okay. All right, and that's how we do there. Now I gotta fit the carpeting back around it. Just snugging up the mass air meter right here. Just put the air filter back on. Gotta snug this up a little bit. And then we'll be able to install the rest of the cold air intake on this. I will say this is a pretty tight fitting cold air kit. All right, and we're good. Getting these last minute hose clamps tightened up here on the cold air kit. And if it isn't raining outside, even though it is dark, I still may take you guys for a quick spin and see how this whine mod works. I'm rather curious myself. All right, that one's snug. Moving on to this one. Good morning, YouTube. It's the next day. We didn't get the job done last night until 9:30 at night. Shelby and I hopped in the Mustang, took her for a quick spin just to see what it would sound like. And, you know, I got mixed reviews about it. I'll show you what it looks like real quick here, and then I'll tell you my thoughts about the product. So let me tell you why I got some mixed reviews about the product, okay? When you're driving the car and it's not under boost, so you're under vacuum or zero on your boost gauge, it sounds like like the car has a big cold air kit on it. And then when you get into the boost, you can definitely hear the Whipple supercharger. There's no question upon a doubt you can hear the supercharger, but it does sound like it has a cold air kit if you're not in the boost and you're just like accelerating kind of hard. So I don't know if anybody can hear that from outside the car, but from outside the car. But from inside the car, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like it has a cold air kit unless you're in the boost. So I think it's kind of weird that it sounds like that. I thought it would just sound like the supercharger all the time. But I am happy, though. The higher the RPM is, the louder the Whipple sounds inside the car. So that's cool. So when you're at 7,500 RPM, it sounds amazing inside the car. So we'll fire up the car, we'll pull it out, we'll go for a little ride. I wanted to get some video for you guys in the daytime and not the nighttime. And you can hear what it sounds like inside the cabin of the car with the new sound tube So I'll throw on a jacket real quick and we'll fire up Ruby. It's like 30-some degrees outside this morning. We actually got a dusting of snow last night. It's ridiculous, but it will be in the 50s today, so it won't be too bad. All right, you guys, we're in the car right now and I'm coming up to a stop sign and I'll turn the camera around and I'll let you guys hear what this sounds like when we take off from a light. Okay, here we go. Can you guys hear that air sucking sound? But then if you get under boost, sorry we got cut off there, you guys. My wife called in the middle of a poll while I was trying to explain to you, you know, the difference between it sucking air like a cold air kit and then transitioning into the, you know, Whipple supercharger sound. So, I don't know, you tell me in the comments below what you think. Would that bother you if it sounded like a cold air kit when you were under vacuum and then it sounded like you were under boost when you were actually under boost? I mean, I can live with it. It ain't that bad. I just figured I would always hear the supercharger instead of a little bit of cold air kit sound. So, well, anyway, I'm going to flip the camera back around. I want to tell you guys something before I end this video. All right, we're coming up to another stop sign real quick here. Give you guys one more pull. You guys can hear what the supercharger sounds like one more time. Oh, great, I got a Ford F-150. Go on, buddy. All right, ready? Here we go. All right, Ruby, let's calm down a little bit here so we can... So there you go. You guys can hear what it sounds like on camera. I hope that came through really well. Anyway, if you guys stay with me all the way to the end of this video, I got a surprise for you. I am on my way right now to go drop Ruby off to get expelled. The whole car, except for roof, obviously, because it's you know, fabric. But yes, I'm having the entire car wrapped in the expel. I don't want this thing getting chipped up. Like I said, Ruby lives on a dirt road. I don't want to get all screwed up, so we're getting the whole car wrapped with a couple little black touches, but you'll have to wait and see what that looks like. So I'm going to end this video and start the next video, and I hope you guys want to see what that looks like, because I'm really curious to see how that expel looks all over the whole car, because I don't want this thing getting all chipped up and stuff. So, hey, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.